Friends, haters, cultivators.
Hello, Pod Recess's crew.
Hi, folks.
Checking in from home base. Figured we'd give you a little update.
Yeah, because neither of us feel great.
Yeah, it's been a pretty rough week for the both of us, and we were planning on having a guest this week's episode, and that fell through because of other obligations. No hard feelings on either side. We definitely will get them on very soon, and that's going to be a really fun episode. Mm-hmm. But
sometimes it just be like that.
Sometimes it just be like that. It's been pretty rough for us the past couple months.
Between depression and whatever else.
Yeah.
Just kind of, sorry we don't have an episode this week, but we wanted to put a little something out, because boy did some shit ever happen this past week.
Yeah.
Man, Ray, I miss the days when fandom drama was like really big name 36-year-old women getting busted for like plagiarism with their fan fiction.
Yeah, you know, this whole thing was, I mean,
we should talk about what the situation is.
Fandoms since inception have just been everything is on fire all the time.
Yeah, everything is bad always.
And something really stupid happened in the Modal fandom in particular this week. The well-known fan translators,
Exiled Rebels, whose translation of the novel we are working with.
We're working with that. It is the most popular, the most widely read fan translation of the novel.
I think it's the only one that's complete.
Yeah, it is the only one that's complete. And they were in the process of translating the manhwa.
Yep.
And they were bullied into taking down their translations of the manhwa and ceasing translation of it for the time being.
Yeah, and it was on two grounds. One was they made a joke. They made a little joke panel, which is like something that fucking we would do. Like it shouldn't be a big deal at all.
No.
And hearing what the joke of it was, it's like it in no way, shape, or form should have been a big deal, but apparently it pissed people off. I'm not gonna go there. I don't fuck with the things that it was dealing with, so I'm gonna be kind of hands off with that.
Gonna leave that.
Yeah, but the other thing was that some people who, kind of don't know how Chinese works were kind of getting on their cases about certain choices in translation. Mm-hmm. And, were saying that it has all of these problems, and they're being bad, basically, for doing that, when it's like, fucking you don't even speak Chinese, you don't know the words that they're translating from, you don't know, whatever. So
you likely probably didn't even buy the original version of the book in the original Chinese. Since you don't speak Chinese, you don't really have a grounds to criticize them, since you likely have not put as much monetary time and put as much money and time into this series as those people have. You really, I mean, not to sound like an asshole about it, like, oh, well, if you don't have experience on it, you can't criticize it. Like, I'm sure that there are plenty of things about their translations that are open to criticism.
I'm not saying that I don't have, I mean, we make fun of them a lot, but it's like, it's lovingly, busting their chops.
Yeah,
busting.
It's not like criticizing, like, oh, well, you should do this better, us as fucking, like, single language English speakers. Yeah. Like, we have no place to tell them how the fuck to translate Chinese, especially since we don't even speak the damn language.
Yeah, like, we'll point out, like, a choice in words that's funny,
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just like, when you're reading, that kind of thing can just kind of jolt you a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the grounds that we're going off of, but not necessarily, on the grounds of, hey, you should have used different words here. You should have looked at the original text to find a different way to translate it that was better, which is just silly.
A dick chugger move. God, I just don't understand the entitlement.
It's a lot of fake wokeness.
It's just a lot to deal with.
It's a lot to deal with.
I don't blame them at all for taking a step back from it, because Nobody deserves that kind of harassment, especially people who, by and large, do this for free.
Yeah, they do this for free.
In their own free time.
Yeah,
and it's for a book that you could easily pay for and send through a machine translation yourself if you're that torn up about it.
If you really want to read about the adventures of Blue Forgetting Machine and his brother Blue Johnson and Way No Envy. People who, it comes down to a lot of people making moral judgments about the character of the translators, which is just fucking ridiculous. And making a lot of assumptions about who they are. The translators are fluent speakers of Chinese. They're young women, I think all of them in the group. Mm-hmm. And the one in particular that did the bulk of the work was a Chinese girl.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm not sure if she's living in China or if she's living somewhere overseas, but or if she's like Chinese American or whatnot. But people were making the assumption that she's this like middle-aged white woman, and it's like all this stuff due to a lot of things surrounding the terminology of the fun word of fujoshi, which, oh boy, I don't want to get super into it. I just felt like we needed to touch on this because it was a big deal. Exiled Rebels did put out kind of a little memo thing, where they talked about how they should have dropped their translation back in October when the manhwa started getting an official translation.
Yeah, and that's fair.
That is fair. That's completely fair. But this just kind of put it over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was some talk for a while that they're not actually dropping it, but I guess apparently they are.
Yeah.
So it just fucking sucks. It's a lot of nonsense. It's a lot of nonsense. It's a lot of just, making moral judgments and assumptions about people because you're trying to get community points.
Yeah. And out of all of the snap judgments that you could make about a person, a snap moral judgment is possibly the worst. And it's the thing that you need to think through a lot before you speak on it.
Here's what I don't understand. How up your own ass do you need to be to look at somebody who's fluent in both English and Chinese and assume that they're some random middle-aged white American woman?
You automatically assume somehow that they're lesser than you.
Yeah.
Like that's your immediate assumption, and you don't think that there's anything fucked up about that?
You think that only one type of person can be interested in a certain topic or a certain genre. It's
just like, not to lean into the whole stereotypes thing, but like, come the hell on.
Yeah.
Really?
Grow up.
Like, who has time for this? I know I say that all the time, but I just don't understand who has time for this. Who has time to actively go out there and make the fandom an unsafe place to be?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point, dude?
Yeah.
Who are you helping? Who is this helping?
Every time shit like this happens, I age 500 years.
Yeah.
If I'm I just have to sit there for like half an hour and go, I'm too fucking old for this. I'm too old for this. I'm the mid-30s white woman here, but I'm so fucking... it's so exhausting. Because it's the same shit. For the past, 5 years or so, it's just been the same shit over and over and over again. And I'm so tired. It's
just... It's the Tumblr thing, dude. Not to sound like an asshole again, but it's just...
Yeah, because
I don't want to go into it. I think the whole thing that we should take away from this situation as a community, if you're involved in the Modal community, I think that, and this is a thing that a lot of people have been really putting effort into, I think we need to put our energy into making the community a nice and positive place to be. And just fucking being kind to each other. And if you see something that you don't like, that hurts you on a moral basis because of your personal moral compass, know that that's valid, but also know that you do not need to write an entire call-out post about this. You don't need to go 6 years deep into somebody else's timeline archives to figure out exactly what kind of heinous moral crimes they've committed. You don't need to do any of this. You don't need to waste your energy on this. We just all need to focus on making this community a nice place to be and focusing on the stuff that matters, which is Wei Ying's ass.
Truly. Go outside, take a little walk, breathe some fresh air.
Draw a little Wei Wuxian. Do something that makes you happy, you know?
Go outside, go for a walk, and think about Wei Ying's ass.
I just want everybody to focus on doing things that make them happy and doing things that leave the community a better place than when they found it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Boy, I fucking wish.
That's all.
People sure do like the smell of their own assholes. Anyway, speaking of things that make the community better, hopefully, and also speaking of running things through Google Translate, we just wanted to put out another little reminder of our Valentine's Day thing, our Valentine's special. If you want to participate in that, we're still taking submissions.
Yep.
Sorry for all these buzzes. My mom is like sextuple texting me.
Jesus. But anyway, yeah, if you want to enter the not a contest, if you just want to enter the event, 1,000 words or less of a relationship or, friendship,
any
familial
kind of thing,
or lovey,
any kind of companionship theme,
focused on a companionship of your choice.
Rated T for teen or under.
T for teen or under, no lewds here. And we would like you to write this piece. Doesn't need to be polished. It doesn't need to be beautiful.
Doesn't need to be complete.
Doesn't need to be complete at all. Could just be a snippet of something you're working on. We'd be happy to read it if you're happy to share it. Except what we would like you to do is send that through Google Translate in the language of your choice.
Let it mangle it.
And
then send it back into English and let it mangle it a second time.
Yep, and we want you to send that second English translated version to us. And then the original version, separated a little bit because we want to surprise ourselves.
Yeah, so send those to cloudrecessespod@gmail.com with the subject Valentine's, and the deadline is 11:59 p.m., whatever your time zone is, on Monday, February 10th.
Monday, February 10th.
It'll be good.
Yeah. And
we'll have fun with it.
We'll have fun with it. We welcome your participation.
We love to do it. Love to read some content. I'm here for it.
I love to see the it.
I love to see the it.
So anyway, that's what we're up to. Sorry again for no episode.
Yeah, sorry about it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Sorry about it. What can I say except depression?
What can I say except depression?
Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back next week, God willing.
Hot and fresh.
Hot and fresh, right out the oven, with some chapter 28 and 29? 28 and 29.
28 and 29, that's right. But until then, do you know what we say at the end of every episode, whether it be 50 minutes long or 13?
Is it Semper Bunny?
It's Semper Bunny, Roy!
Semper Bunny, folks!
Semper Bunny. See you next week.
Bye.